welcome. I'm Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. A shocking crime has shaken the conscience of the nation. A 26-year-old woman was raped inside a bus at the Swargate stand in Pune on the 25th of February. The bus was parked around 100 meters from the police station. The victim was a domestic worker who was set to head to her village in Satara's Fulton. While waiting in the bus stand, the accused approached her around 5:45 a.m. He engaged her in conversation, calling her Didi. The accused posed as a conductor and told her that bus for Satara has already arrived at another platform. The accused took the victim to an empty AC bus parked elsewhere on the sprawling station premises. As the lights inside the bus were not on, the victim hesitated at first, but later, after entering, the accused followed her inside, locked the door and raped her before fleeing. After the horror, the traumatized survivor did not immediately approach the police and took another bus for her hometown. While travelling, she narrated the incident to a friend over a phone call. On a friend's advice, the victim got down within city limits and went to the police station to report the crime. The police, meanwhile, has filed a case and formed 13 teams, including 8 from the crime branch, to nab the absconding accused. Cops are assessing CCTV footage showing the victim walking towards the bus with the accused. According to sources, a canine sniffer unit and drones have also now been deployed. Meanwhile, the accused has been identified as 36-year-old Dattatreya Ramdas Gade. He is a history cheater out on bail since 2019. 6 cases of theft, robbery and chain snatching are registered against him in Pune and adjoining Ahilya district. Cases have also been previously filed in the Shikrapur and Shirur police station limits. Last year, a theft case in fact was lodged in Pune and Gade was summoned to the police station as well. Now Gade has been absconding for more than 48 hours. Police officials have already spoken to accused family members, including his brother, known associates, and a 1 lakh rupee reward has also been announced by cops for informants, along with assurance of anonymity. Amidst all of this, a larger question is, how do we tackle this depravity? Joining us now live is Dinesh Jotwani, Supreme Court advocate. Dhanraj Banjari, former police officer, is joining us live. Brinda DK, activist, is also live with us. Tahira Hassan, women's rights activist, also is now joining the broadcast. Let me make a start with you first, Brinda DK. What do you make of this depraved crime coming to light from Pune? And also, what do you make of the fact that no action has been taken yet since so many hours have passed since the crime was reported?
First and foremost, we want to ask this question. It is a bus depot, a bus stop, where there are lots of other buses there. There is no information booth or there is no kind of vigilance over there. Are people not going to be coming? Is there any kind of safety for passengers? Should there not be some kind of bus announcements? And all of these questions, which again, the responsibility falls squarely on the bus department. Now, that said, there is also news that it is 100 meters away from the police, from one of the police stations. 100 meters away, there is no patrolling, there is no police around over there, and this lady might have screamed or shouted, we don't know. But during that time, it could have been 10 minutes and 15 minutes or maybe 20 minutes. But nobody in that bus depot is shocking. Shocking because there is nobody to even hear people if they are in trouble. It could have also been a medical issue with some other traveler. Nobody is there to help. So the bus depot has to buck up and find out what is it lacking over there. Why is it that buses are just parked there and nobody's giving any information or announcement? And the other part is the police. 24 hours down the line, there is nothing that has happened. Police claim that they have got different groups and different people looking out for him. But what is the strong message that is going across to perpetrators? One, the police, this man is a habitual offender, which means they have not prepared their previous cases correctly or properly and watertight, and so it has fallen through in the court. No repository of people who have committed similar crimes or even this person, for police to have a lookout, or for that matter, for others to also be cautious. Third, has the police really issued a red notice? If so, then what else are the public doing? Because the public could also be on the lookout. So why is the police not taking the support and the assistance of the public? Everything said and done, the state agencies send a message that women being sexually assaulted and abused or raped in public spaces will be the responsibility of the women, not anybody else. So this kind of an apathetic attitude increases the impunity of culprits and rapists.
All right, let me in fact quickly draw in Dinesh Jotwani as well now. Dinesh Jotwani, Do you believe this is now looking like a fit case for a capital punishment? What do you make of this crime, and what do you believe now should be the exemplary punishment given?
Yes, I think this calls for a capital punishment. The facts as of that are turning right now, it is a brutal attack, brutal rape on the victim. In fact, our newly enacted Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita now talks about even the capital punishment in certain cases, and this perhaps is an example where the capital punishment can be given. Look, we cannot politicize this incident. We cannot completely say, you know, that the state is to be blamed completely. I would make it, of course, as a law and order situation, but also failure of our legal system. I'm critical of the legal system because this person was on bail. Some court must have given him a bail. Okay, so if they get emboldened by the activities that they do, and then they keep on committing further crimes. So I think one of the reasons, as per me, is the failure of the legal system. Though our law, Section 63 of the newly enacted Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, is very strong in these kind of circumstances. So now, squarely, I think the investigation agencies can do their job because this person is identified. This person, Dattatare Ramgade, his name, he was on bail, so his all his identification from his fingerprints to his Aadhaar, everything should be in the court records. The only thing is, investigation agency now need to arrest him. He's identified already. He's on the CCTV camera, and I think the strongest punishment that is available in the law should be given to this accused, and so that there is no repeat, and particularly no repeat. I have lived in Pune for more than a decade, and I can tell you it is a cultural capital of Maharashtra, where people respect each other. There has been no problem as far as law and order is concerned. I could see that women are very, very safe in the city. They would walk even in the middle night without any fear. So this incident that has happened has shocked everyone across the country, and law and order needs to be maintained. It is a question of law and order, and now it is the ball is in the investigations court. The police needs to arrest him. Whatever teams that they have formed, I am sure they would be able to nab nab this accused and put him through the justice very swift justice, as was done in Nirbhaya case. These kind of cases need to be there should be an example set on these kind of cases that are taking place, and I would wish that the accused get arrested quickly and is brought to the justice very quickly.
Okay. Take that across to you as well. Let me take that to you as well at this point, Dhanraj Vanjari, because the big question, of course, Dhanraj Vanjari, is that what is the police doing? 48 hours, no arrests, no accused summoned so far, no leads, absconding still. What kind of faith will people have in the police system if this is the case after such a horrific crime?
You're right, Uday. Let me start with two very important prima facie points involved in this case. Number one is the administration of MSRTC, that is Maharashtra State Road Transport Corporation, which is a legislative body under the Constitution, and it has its own structure and own functions to perform the duties. Now today, they have suspended 13 security guards from that Swargate Pune bus depot. Does it mean that all these 13 guards were sleeping all the time? No supervisory officer was there, no executive of MSRTC had gone to check, examine, inquire what is the position of depot. Where is the report of weekly or monthly inspection of such depots? Forget about Pune in Maharashtra. I tell you, in Pune, where the very sad incident of rape on woman has taken place, a brutal incident, I would say, there are some buses which are just stationary. And some of the journalists, they even found that the liquor bottles and some other objectionable articles lying very much inside the bus. Who is guarding those buses? What MSRTC official is doing, I think the hearing officer, maybe the topmost position officer of the corporation of road transport, should be held responsible for.
Brinda DK was saying earlier, who is to blame for this entire sequence of crime? It's absolutely shocking, and the fact that it can happen in a big city like Pune, what does that really say about the country? Tahira, can you hear me? Yes, Tahira Hassan, that question is for you.
Yes, such a, the brutal and shameful incident that has took place in Pune. The woman, domestic worker, was commuting through the bus and going back to her home after the work. I mean, now women cannot earn their livelihood also. I mean, they can't feel safe. It's a duty of the state and administration to provide security to the women, so they can move freely, they can earn their livelihood, or they can do whatever they want to do. Because these type of crimes are taking every day, And why should we not ask to the state? Because when the Arjikar Medical College, such a heinous crime took place, the civil society took head on to Mamata Banerjee, because she is in power there. So the question will be asked to nobody is going to politicize, it should not be politicized. But whoever is the head of the state, whatever government is there, whatever party is in the rule, doesn't matter. It's happening in all the states. Why they are not serious about it, taking it seriously? After Nirbhaya, the very strong laws are in our hand. Why they are not implemented properly? What about the Nirbhaya fund, 3,000 crore? Why it is not utilized by all states properly? These are the questions. And now the police should collect all evidences properly and produce it in the court. Then only honorable court will punish that accused. Otherwise, witness will get hostile, and these type of men will get away after committing heinous crime. They have no fear of the law. After committing these type of crime against the women, they are fearless. This is very disturbing, And the conviction rate is very low. This is very important. Again, I say. Conviction rates must be increased. Capital punishment is not an answer of this question, of this problem. You can't curb the rising violence against the women by only 1 or 2 capital punishment. Conviction rate should be increased. It is right now 27%. So these things should be taken under consideration. It is such a very shocking incident which took place. What about this woman? She is earning a livelihood. Can't the women from the marginalized class can earn their livelihood? Can't they move? She can't have a private vehicle of her own. So it's a responsibility of the state to provide each and every woman, whether she is rich or poor, whatever, middle class. Each and every woman, girl, and the small girl, child, all should be provided security. These things are happening because the patriarchy is deep-rooted. Most of the time, people raise voice and question that this happened because she was wearing this type of dress. I mean, the women's dress code, lifestyle, this is blamed for the rape. So we must assert on this culture also. And the mindset also should be changed. And the action must be taken against the people who talk like that. Then only we can curb the rising violence against the women. Otherwise, we will only come and debate. This is not going to be a solution of such a heinous
Uday,
crime.
am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Vanjari, yes, now you can go ahead. We had lost you earlier. You were telling us about why the police is taking so long to trace the accused.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just distracted. I'll come to the same point. First, my point was to hail the MSRTC official for the act of their omission. They made the situation and the place available for the criminals to commit the crime. Now, coming to the state and law and order situation. Now, if you look at the incidents happening in Pune, right from Porsche car accident up to there are so many incidences where the people, common man, feel insecure. Forget about the women, they are feeling insecure today. Then who is responsible? Now, there are two major aspects. Number one, the local police station of Swargate, have they put any inspection report of the depot? Have they made any patrolling, any vigilance, any surveillance in that area that there the buses are lying in such condition which can be misused by the criminals for committing any crimes? Number two, what local police station where the accused was already noted as a habitual offender, why they have not kept a required surveillance? There is a system in the police. The section is very clear, 63 of new amendment like NBS. There, any offender, if stays in their locality, is either supposed to attend the police station or police should visit weekly or fortnightly to find his whereabouts. He is on the bail. So definitely it's a job of that police station. Now coming down to the overall scenario of law and order, why this accused is not so far been arrested. Very surprisingly, I worked in Mumbai police, Maharashtra police for more than 35 years. For me, it is surprising, Uday. Why to keep 1 lakh rupees prize? This is not a healthy practice. If accused is totally unknown, no one knows his fingerprint, no one knows anything about his face, no one knows his feature in CCTV, then it's okay. But this is a very unhealthy practice to put the price for such kind of accused where the police machinery must address their failure. Finally, it goes to the leadership of police and it goes to Home Ministry. There is absolutely nothing to politicize the issue. But finally, if all the questions are dying on the door of the politics, then we have to knock the door. Why? Home Minister, who is the supreme administrator and the highest leader of police department, is not taking cognizance in spite of repeated incidents. There are questions in the people of mind. If it can be questions to a retired policeman like me, it must be a question of a common man, Uday.
All right, let me in fact quickly go back across to you, Dinesh Jotwani. Dinesh Jotwani, do you also hope that there would be a fast trial in this case? We did see, how a very fast trial did happen in recent cases, from West Bengal. Can that happen here too?
Yes, absolutely. There is a provision in the current Criminal Procedure Code, in the current BNS, where there can be a speedy trial. Whichever crime hurts the consciousness of the society, the court has a power to expedite the trial. We are at the investigation stage right now. I'm sure the Pune police will file once he's arrested. Pune police will file the charge sheet immediately. They will put the trial immediately, have the list of witnesses, the medical record, the CCTV. There's a lot of evidence available with the prosecution. And I hope that the case will be monitored by the High Court, Mumbai High Court, because we don't want, the accused in India can delay the trial for decades. They can go in for an appeal, they can go for a bail, anticipatory bail. They can go to Supreme Court and take a stay on the trial for reasons. So a criminal trial in India can take decades, and that's why in the beginning I mentioned that it is not. It is also a question of a legal system failure, and I hope there is a speedy trial that takes place. Witnesses are brought in, evidence is brought in by the police immediately, and there is no delay in getting, in giving bail to the accused. And we don't, at this point of time, we don't even know if there is one accused or more than one person there in the bus. So let's have the police do its investigation, and I'm sure the case can finish with a speedy trial in less than a six months period.
Okay, let me in fact quickly take that across to you as well, Brinda DK once again. Brinda, what kind of steps now are needed to help curb such crimes from our big metros? Women continue to feel unsafe, public transport, public places, where will they feel safe if not here?
I will come back again to the state's responsibility. The judiciary, prosecution, police, and all the other departments, all of them together have different roles to play. So education and creating awareness is very important. And that said, we are also looking at helplines. How are they functioning? We are asking for neighborhood committees. Are they functioning along with the police? So there is a lot of talk that, a new program has been initiated, something has come up, there are apps available. But we need to keep in mind that all of this safety, it cannot depend on technology where somebody has to download an app and say, now you please press this button and we will be there in 10 minutes. There has to be real-time patrolling. There has to be education simultaneously. There has to be fear of law instilled into citizens. There also has to be this entire agenda of shattering patriarchy. That when sexual assault and crimes are committed against women, it is not the woman's fault. It is the man and or the perpetrator's fault. Now that said, like Mrs. Tahira asked, what has happened to our Nirbhaya funds? CCTV cameras are supposed to be everywhere. So if there are CCTV cameras, if there were at the bus depot, who was monitoring them? Now, I think it is unfair to us citizens to be told that vacancies are there and it is not filled. You've been saying that for the last 5 decades. So you cannot now make the same excuses. So the state is to be held accountable, and the state also has the responsibility further this safety of all citizens, especially women and children, in a mission mode. If they can do this for others, they can do it for the safety of citizens and the women.
Okay, same question to you. Last word, Tahira Hassan. On the way forward, what steps urgently are needed now to be taken for women's safety in such public places, yes, particularly in our big metros?
Big metros, in Kasbas, and everywhere. Because after Nirbhaya, Justice Verma Committee was constituted and very strong laws are in our hand. And it was suggested that there should be, for especially the women who commute, who earn their livelihood and go by the bus only. So there should be CCTV camera in the buses. And second thing, there should be a panic button. Where is panic button? These laws were enacted in 2013. These are the questions women will ask. They have every right to ask. Wherever this type of incident and this type of heinous crime takes place. So these are the answers which has to become from the state only. So we'll ask to the state. The same way we had asked same questions to the Mamata Banerjee in the heinous crime which has taken place with the trainee doctor in the RGK Medical College. Didn't we ask? We did. So same thing is happening. There should be this thing that in my state it's okay, in others' state it's not okay. Wherever the crime takes place against the women, it is a crime. Nothing could be heinous crime against than the violating women body. I mean, this should be taken under consideration and should be taken seriously. I mean, you cannot ignore it. and take it easy. Okay, this has happened in his state where the ruling party is other, there is the other state. What is this? The women body is violated. Whether it is in the West Bengal, in the Maharashtra, or the Uttarakhand, or Uttar Pradesh, it should be taken seriously.
Well, sniffer dogs, more additional deployment, but still no arrests yet. How much more will we have to wait, Dhanraj Vanjari? What are your sources telling you? What is your interpretation? How long more before an arrest is finally made in this case?
I think very shortly the accused would be arrested and he will be apprehended. They have made 8 teams as per the commissioner's report. They have made 8 teams. My only last and final question, Uday, is there are a set of rules. But why this set of rules will function if it is not been properly implemented? It has been not properly looked into. Where is the responsibility of executive supervisory authorities? What they are sleeping? And when they are sleeping, such kind of incidents happen. I know Verma Committee's report. I know everything. The Supreme Court's dictum at many cases has been given to the police. But why this set of rules are not working? Our police department do not have a proper leadership at district or metropolitan city or a state level. That is the question. If set of rules are not working, nothing will work.
Okay. Let me get in a quick last word now from you as well, Dinesh Jotwani. At the end of the day, of course, what steps now are needed to further strengthen the police system, to further strengthen the judicial mechanisms? The fear of law, it seems, is not there in our citizens.
Yeah, I think let me finish by saying there's an old saying in law: injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So we will not confine it to a particular state. If this heinous crime has taken place in one state, it is reflection on the whole country that has taken place. And as far as investigation is concerned, we cannot say that he'll be arrested in 1 week, 2 weeks. Maybe he's just walking around with his change complexion around. We don't know. He's a smart person. He's a history cheater. This person accused is a history cheater. So the investigation part, we leave it to the police. Maybe they form the 8 teams, but are they able to apprehend this person or not remains to be seen. At the end of the day, I would say that crimes like this should be tried very, very quickly at the magisterial level itself, not to go on a high court appeal or a Supreme Court appeal or a stay on the trial. That unfortunately happened in Nirbhaya case. We have to give a fair trial, of course, to the accused. That's the basic principle of the whole legal system. But at the same time, on flimsy grounds, you stay the trial, which has shook the complete public consciousness of this country, is unfair to the whole society and unfair to the whole country. And I wish the accused is apprehended quickly, is brought to the trial, no interference from the higher courts into the trial, and we get the justice in the country which we deserve, which we all Indians deserve at the end of the day.
All right. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on this broadcast. We've run completely out of time. Let's slip into a very short break. Much more coming up on the other side.